MAP stars. Well, we know MAP stands for Minnesota Association of Alternative Programs. What's this STARS program? Well, the STARS program, it's an acronym, 5 different things. Success of the students. Teamwork, learning how to work together as a team. Achievement, how can we get students to achieve? Recognition, everybody needs recognition, and the STARS program is it's really important to give recognition to students. And finally, self-esteem. How do we build self-esteem in students? So, I want to know, how does STARS get started? Well, the best way to do that is go back to the source and ask one of the guys who's actually involved in starting it.
MAAP stars actually started back in 1993. There was a group of work coordinators sitting around having coffee, and they had just come from a DECA conference, and we don't have DECA in alternative ed, and they said we should have something like DECA for alternative education schools. And so they called a committee together. I wasn't at that first meeting when they had the thought, but they called me together, and then I came in, and Wally Campbell and Dan Daly, Mark Wohlhart, many wonderful people, Dave Hansen, we started the organization. And we spent a year planning what would we want this to look like, and we wanted it to be a broad-based vocational organization that would help prepare students for any place, any career they choose to go in, which is a pretty major task to do. And we had 2 camps. We had those that were in favor of the DECA-style competition, and we had those that were opposed to competition and kind of felt like everyone should get an award and just participate in that. And so we struggled with that, and we came up with some ideas, and then we had our first fall leadership conference. Actually, it was 93 was the first fall leadership conference, where we brought together a group of students. I think there were 45 that came from different schools around the state, and we said, we'd like to start a youth group for you. What would you like? And here's some ideas we have. And then so we brainstormed, and we broke the kids up into small groups, and we have them talk about what they would like. And what we were looking for was a chance for our kids to demonstrate the wonderful things they do, a chance for our kids to get some recognition, a chance for our kids to build up leadership skills, to prove they can work well as a team and individually, and really prepare them for the workplace. So that's where it went, and over the years we've adapted events to fit the kids. So it's broad-based, it's vocational. We have events like employment interview that could go anywhere, benefit anyone. We have the artistic performance events, which are non-competitive for those kids. They're excited, and it's really fun to have the bands come in, seeing kids reading their poetry on stage and getting applause for that. Something, their moment on the stage that they've never had. And all different stuff, a lot of singers and that. And we have the art display for those that are interested in art, and the art display is put on display, their artwork, and we have little positive sheets, and kids get to write them positive notes, and they go home with this big stack of positive notes about their artwork, and it's critiqued by a professional artist, and the kids just, it hits you right there. And then the competitions, you know, those are getting you ready. And we have team advertising if you want to go into advertising and you're doing it as a team. You can make a video commercial if you want, if you're interested in that. We've got decision-making events where we really want them to work on problem-solving skills, and they're team or individual, so they can work on either. And we have those in parenting, which no one else has. But how are we getting our kids ready to be parents? Anyone can be a parent, it seems, if you're able to have a kid. But are we teaching them the skills of parenting? And that's important too. And being a parent is a profession, I think. So, and then the management decision making, that's a workplace problem. You face this scenario in the workplace, how would you handle it? And we really teach the kids good problem solving and to really weigh the pros and cons of solutions and really think about it. And then they're working on their presentation skills. And it's so fun to see them dress up and go into those judges. And many of these kids have never had a chance to do this before, and now it's their chance. And they feel so good when they come out. And our judges are super friendly, super positive. They make the kids feel great. Public speaking, you give a speech, you know, and at this conference, I have a student that has major anxiety disorder. 3 years ago when she came to our school, she couldn't even handle sitting in a class with more than 8 people. And here she is right now in finals for public speaking. And I'm just so proud of her that she's been able to grow that far in 3 years. The evaluation from the kids is super positive. Everyone in this organization is a volunteer. We all do it. We don't get any state or federal funding like other vocational groups. And we all work really hard for the kids, and the kids appreciate it, and they love it, and we never have any problems. The hotels love us. They say, this is the only youth group we've had where we don't have problems with kids. and they just love us and they want us to come back all the time. MAAP Stars is about bringing out the best in the individual. Give them a chance to shine, to go with where their expertise is, where they're passionate, and that's what we're all about. Again, there's other events too. I'm only touching on the surface, but that's what is our goal for MAAP Stars.
So how do they do that? By the way, that was Kip Sackett. Wonderful man. Okay, what are the activities of STARS? First of all, there's Fall Leadership Conference, where we train and elect the leaders for the year. Legislative Day, where schools can go and meet their legislator and explain to the legislator face-to-face what their concerns are. The Spring Conference is really the really big event where all the art displays and the artistic competitions, and it's just a wonderful conference, and there's another website that describes that in more detail. Also, throughout the year, there are regional MAAP Stars events that occur all the time. Now, not many people have heard of this, but there's also a view from the outside. I mean, what are people seeing who are not part of the organization? So we asked Steve Dibbs, who's the Associate Director of Education in the state of Minnesota, what he thought of STARS.
Hi, I'm Steve Dibb, Deputy Commissioner at the Minnesota Department of Education. I've been involved with MAAP Stars as a speaker and co-presenter for about 4 or 5 years now. The one thing that strikes me about the MAAP Stars program is how it elevates every student to the same level. It's not one student does well or better at this or that. They recognize all students, and that rightly so, because every one of these students has skills, abilities, and talents that go unchecked in many schools. And it really is a testimonial to how their schools are truly an alternative way for these students to really use their skills and talents and demonstrate them in a different fashion than most conventional school settings. But again, that's brought out in the MAAP Stars. They're recognized, they receive awards, and they're validated for the work that they've done. And I think that you can't do anything better for a student than validate their work and their skills and abilities in life. And that's really what I've seen great value from MAAP Stars.
Right, so as educators and teachers, we come up with a program that we think is going to help the students. But what do the students think of it? So I asked a couple people to give me, what does MAAP Stars mean to you? Here's what they said.
To me, STARS is basically like a family for alternative programs. You come together and you meet new people and you hear different stories on the reasons why they decided to join alternative programs. The experience has been great overall. I really like it. A lot of opportunities. This is my first year joining MAAP Stars, and I was elected to be a state officer. I think it's really great. The events are fun, and you can show off different talents and skills and meet a lot of the MAAP Stars representatives, and you can even get a chance, to be an officer yourself. It's a pretty great experience for me. If I could, I'd do it again, but it's a one-time thing, so.
Hi, my name is Alan Michael Einfeld. I am a MAAP Stars officer. There is 4 others, including me. There is 5. I came here from Austin, Minnesota with a bad reputation, and now I go on to doing public speaking. I am doing many competitions that I can make it to the final and be proud to say that MAAP Stars has changed my life in ways that nothing else has, and I am proud to be a MAAP Stars officer.
What STARS meant for me, it gave me a good opportunity to show kids that we can do things they can do too, and that we're good at things too. We're not just this type of school. We're a school, a good school.
Good.
So during the fall conference, I learned a lot about myself, and I grew as a person. And Legislative Day showed me a lot about what people do in the Capitol, like the legislators and the senators. and the spring conference has really boosted my confidence, and I've learned a lot of knowledge doing these events like interviewing, team decision making, job manual, career portfolio. They're all great, and I've learned a lot.
What STARS means to me is improving your leadership skills. It's best that you try your best. Even if you mess up or you freeze, there's always a team to support you. Your teachers or whoever is a part of your MAAP STARS team supports you. That's the best part. And also bonding with different players from different teams. They encourage you as well. And that makes you feel good and makes you want to do better the next time and stuff, so then you can encourage them. I also think that MAAP STARS is a good way to get people that are antisocial to become a social butterfly, because it helps them speak more, especially if they do things like public speaking and team management, decision making, and any other activities that involve speaking. It creates a whole nother personality for them, which is a good thing.
Perfect.
Okay, MAAP STARS, what it means to me is you learn a bunch of new things that you actually use in life, and unlike school, you think you'll never use this math and stuff, but you actually use the stuff you learn in MAAP STARS, and you meet all these new kinds of people, and it really helps you, like, in the long run.
That's perfect.
There's a lot that I like about MAAP STARS. There's a lot that can get you prepared for the outside world, but the main two things that I like about it is Legislative Day. It got us prepared for our senators and representatives. We got to meet them and know what the Capitol is like. And then interviewing. It helps you a lot to learn how interviewing. After I did an interview here, I went and applied for Holiday, and I got the job.
MAAP STARS means to me a way to communicate with others and interact with other schools, and just getting to know a bunch of new students that I've never met before.
MAAP STARS means like that it's like a next stage of growing up. It'll like help you to the next level to being an adult. And I've heard of MAAP STARS from one of my wonderful teachers, Mr. Johnson and Miss Toole.
So MAAP STARS, Minnesota Association of Alternative Programs, STARS program to help students become better citizens. Help us make a great program even better. Thanks.